Hi, Leather Rokk here, and today we're going to do another St. Patrick's Day makeup tutorial, and this time it's a lot brighter. This time I pulled out all the stops. I wasn't trying for subtle, I wasn't trying for work appropriate, I was talking some look that's fit to go to a parade, and as a matter of fact, I went to one today. And now, as a matter of fact, I didn't think I would even make it because I was up late the night before, but I actually made the parade, and this look stood up to a day out in the sun. It stood up to sunblock, it stood up to makeup, it stood up to dancing. So yeah, I'm tying my hair back. Let's get started. Now I'm going to do the same technique I did the last time. I'm going to keep the makeup on this side and I'm going to take it off here. And once again, I'm using this cleanser from DHC. It's called Deep Cleansing Oil. First time I used it, I wasn't sure that I loved it because I thought it kind of burned my eyes a little bit. But I guess the idea is to not inject it into your eyes. So I'm going to stick my hand in. I find one of these packets is probably good for a good 4 applications. Even though I really do prefer to use olive oil or coconut oil. And I didn't bring those things I'm supposed to wipe my eyes with. Great. Yeah, doesn't this look really glamorous? I noticed when I did my last tutorial and I had a mirror taped up next to the lens, I was hoping that it would be easier for you to see what I was doing, but when I looked at it, I realized that you couldn't see what I was doing as easily. The directions say that you should rinse this off, so. Take a look in. I really don't trust the mirror viewfinder thing. Oh, great, messed this up a little bit. I didn't want to do that. Oh. Okay. Well, here's what we're going to do. Now, remember that Tony Ouch that I like to start out with? I had already snapped one of those. So this is the thing that I had snapped and I put the rubber thing on. And I'm going to put this right on my freshly cleansed area. I noticed this doesn't bother your face makeup when you put it on. That's a good thing. And I have, so that I don't have to run into a sink or something like that, I have pre-filled a dish with a couple teaspoons of water that we will have a use for, as you will see very shortly. Okay, for the coat under my eyes, I'm going to use something you haven't seen before. It's from ELF, E-L-F. It's their Complete Coverage Concealer, and it's a 4 different colors of, this is supposed to be light, and I would not call this light. The lightest of these 3 shades is this, and it is too yellow and too dark. They're all too dark. But that said, I will go ahead and I will apply this on my lid. And as you can see, the nice thing about this is it does come with a mirror. So I'm going to do that. It's obviously too dark and too yellow. I'm going to go ahead and carry this color out so that I can eventually blend it. Yeah, see how dark this is? I'm definitely going to cover this underneath here with the L'Oreal True Match. And I use W1 Warm 1 Porcelain. I'm actually a cool, but their cool was too dark for me. And when in doubt, I have to go with something that actually is my skin color. So I'm not going to put this up on my eyelid here because this stuff will dry down, and what will end up happening is my eyeshadow will not stick to it, and it will not give me the nice vivid look that we want. Now, I hope that these both sides end up matching when you realize that this makeup has been on for a number of hours and this is not going to be on as long. And sometimes makeups will oxidize and they will change color. Not to mention, I mean, not really change color, but they can fade. Oils can affect how they look. Now, I am using the B&H Cosmetics Wild and Alluring Palette, which is the same palette I used on my other Patty State tutorial, but different colors this time. Now, I am going to start with the brightest color in here, which is the turquoise color, and I am going to use a brush like this that I got from a dollar store. It's a Vivace, Vivace, I don't know how it's pronounced, but I'm going to go straight into the pan, and I'm going to touch it to here, and I am going to go in my dish of water here, and I am going to get the brush wet, and I am going to go back into the palette. The idea is to dampen the brush, and it will make the color more vivid. And I'm going to go I'm going to try to make it match the other side. Now I'm actually carrying it into the crease, which you don't always do with a brighter color. But I mean, there are no rules. The great thing about makeup is you do whatever you feel. And I've always been more of a fan of the brighter eyeshadows anyway. I do like to do my eyebrow before I do the eyeshadow so I know how far I'm going to take them. And like I said in my prior video, I always like to apply foundation before I do my eyebrow, because if I try to do my eyebrows first and then I do foundation, what's going to end up happening is it's going to smear, and we don't want that. Now, speaking of smearing, I could see when I used that eye makeup remover, I took off some of my eyebrows, so I'm going to show you one of the many ways that I have to do my eyebrows. My eyebrows really are the shape, they're just not this color. So I have to basically create what I already have. And I usually end up using whatever is closest to my hair color, which usually ends up being a lipstick. So, and I'll use any formulation that I can get my hands on, anything that is close to my hair. And what I'm using here is from LA Colors. It's the Lip Duo, and the color is called Vibe, and it has a lip gloss in. And what I do is I use the Doe Foot lip gloss applicator, and I use that to go over my eyebrow to make sure that it matches the other one and they look as symmetrical as possible. Now, sometimes I will blot also, which can come in handy if I am wearing a hat, or if I'm wearing a hoodie, or if it's a really crowded dance floor and I might rub up against somebody with a dress shirt. Nobody appreciates having makeup come off on them. So, now, I am going to take another brush that is, let me compare for you the brushes. They look pretty similar. The only difference is this one is more angled on here and this one is not. But, and I'm checking to make sure which brush is which. I'm going to go back into the Wild and Alluring palette, Oh, I'm going to hit the water first. Some water in here. And I'm actually going to put a couple of drops of water in here. I'm going to use the green from this. Oh, and I had a little mistake today. I dropped this palette and everything, almost everything from this green came out. And this is a green that we're going to use. This palette thing here had some yellow in it and some green. It's a nice bright light green shade. And I am going to end up using most of it. As you can see, I am more than hit pan with this. I'm applying this wet, and I'm taking it from the middle of the lid to the lash line. Make sure that it has the same look on the other side. And this I'm definitely carrying into the point, the inner corners. See that? I'm going to turn the light out. Doesn't that look nice? Now, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do pencil, and I'm going to do the waterline. I keep on having this temptation to set this palette onto my laptop computer, and you don't want to do that because these are magnetized, and magnets and computers don't mix. So I'm going to hope that you can see what I'm doing. I did not freshly sharpen this either. The last thing I want is to deal with splinters. Can you see that? Just like I did it on this side. It would be nice if I had a third finger to put my eyelid down a little bit. It's been a few days since I've sharpened this sharpener. Make sure the other... Okay, now we're going to do another liner. We're going to do this Maybelline Master Precise by Eye Studio. This is not a waterproof liner, but it actually seems to be pretty good. This is a felt tip, point tip pen. It makes lines like this. And I hope you can see what I'm about to do. I'm taking this from the point, the inner corner, almost, I don't want to go to the point here because I want to go down my lower lid, and I want to, how you tell, I'm sure I've told you this before, how a good way to tell where your wing should be is make sure you do your lower line also, and you're following the curve of your eyeball, and the curve of your eyeball is going to tell you where the wing should start. So you go up like this a little bit, then go back to the top, and you're going to make a triangle here with the upper lash line and a lower lash line, and you fill in that triangle. I'd already done that with this side. See how I followed my lash line with my lower lash line? It tells you what the angle's going to be. I went up here like this, continued with the upper. See, it makes a triangle. If there's any blank space in the middle, you fill that in. And does that look symmetrical to you? I hope this does not end up looking asymmetrical. That's the whole thing when you're dealing with a couple hours difference. And I had this makeup on a while because I went to a parade and I went out dancing, and I was dancing for quite a while, and then the DJ said that they were not coming back till 10 o'clock, and I mean the club, the band said they weren't coming back till 10 o'clock, But then they did like an hour later, and I actually was more into the DJ than I was into the band. So, okay. You want to see what I use on my cheeks instead of my usual contour? Because I really wanted to use things in here. I used the muted purple shade in this. And this, you could call it a kabuki brush, but it's actually just a brush, the brush that doesn't have a handle on it. And went here. Okay. And I had for my lip color, and I don't have my purse with me. Hold on a second. Oh. No, I don't know where it is. Okay, well, I guess we can use something brighter than now what I'm using. I was actually wearing a Revlon lip gloss. If I could put a little tiny bit more color on, I will use, this is a CoverGirl triple lipstick, and the color is Hope. See, a lot of people like to go with a more of a neutral or a nude lipstick if they're going to do a statement eye. I like strong lips and strong eyes, but since I have this beauty channel, I am experimenting with more looks now, and it's nice to add to your repertoire, your makeup and stuff. So here you have. Oh, and I didn't bother using a third, like a highlighter above my eyebrow, because I thought that the color underneath was good enough. I just didn't see the point of adding, like a lot of times I will add like a white above, but as you can see, I let the base color act as its own highlight, and as long as both sides match. Oh, I forgot mascara. Can't forget about that. Gosh. Alrighty, where's the mascara? I knew that there was something missing. For the mascara, I'm using the LA Colors. This, even though it's not waterproof, it seems to really hold the curl. It makes them nice and hard, and they stay put, and you can go out dancing, and you can be all sweaty and stuff, and I really haven't had a lot of raccoon eyes problems with these. You know, and I mean, I was out, it was kind of chilly this afternoon, and I was in the chilly, breezy, it was sunny. I couldn't carry an umbrella because I was on a parade route, and I noticed security's getting stricter with parades now. Here, it's becoming more like parades would be for big cities. You've got metal barricades that are as high as my chest, and it made it a little bit harder to get the candy and stuff that they were throwing out. You know, there are certain candies that I wanted for myself, but there are some that I knew my roommates like. Think they match? Alright, there is my brighter St. Patty's Day makeup tutorial, and only using the Wild and Alluring palette from B&H Cosmetics. This is a palette that I wasn't thrilled with when I first got it because it looked kind of more muted than I usually have use for, but I've had some time to play around with it, and you want to get more looks out of it, and as I come up with more, I will make more videos. And like I always say, if you like these videos, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification thingy, and I will keep videos coming to you, and I hope there's something you like. I post videos 3 times a week for your viewing consumption. Until I talk to you soon, my cat has left the room. I guess it's time for me to call it a night. Talk to you soon. Bye.